Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people on this beautiful Sunday morning. I am your butterfly. I hope that you're going to rock with me this morning live. I got to start with apologizing. I just realized for some reason, and I didn't catch this yesterday, so y'all, I need a keeper. You're going to have to help me. I'm asking you not have to, but I'm asking you to help me because I planned the show for 6 o'clock a.m. So I don't know how I did that, but for whatever reason, I'm not going to trip about it. Um, for those of you who've been rocking with us, you know that it is 7 a.m. And if it's not, I will change it. I will say, hey, we're doing it at this time rather than this time. But I logged on and it was like, it's over. So I had to redo everything. So I apologize for anyone who thought that it was going to be 6 a.m. this morning, but unless we notify you, it's always at 7 o'clock. So that was an error on my part, and I do apologize. So this is day 60 of rocking with us for daily motivations for African American success. Dennis Kimbro is the author of this amazing book. He's also the author of Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice. So this is Dennis Kimbro. If you've been rocking with us and you've not gotten the book, I don't know what's wrong with your rocking chair, right? It's not working. So you guys get this book. If you're new and you plan to kind of jump in and jump out or stay with us, get the book. For that reason, but also to support our author, because we are sharing his wisdom of words, and he deserves some pay for that. So get it. If you don't want to have it for yourself, pass it on. We're here because someone blessed my son with this book, and not of the African American race. So it's for everyone. We all need to think and grow rich. We all need daily motivation. So thank you guys for rocking with us. I am coming to you today from Albany, Georgia. I am here celebrating with my family, as we have since I was a little girl. We've had family reunion every Easter weekend. And not only do we have it, but we fellowship together at our home church. So the church where my grandmother not only attended, but that was her school. And her teacher, what I'm told is her teacher was her sister, right? So we go to that church. So I'll be heading there this morning for church service. But it has just been a blessing, you guys. It has truly blessed my soul today, or this weekend. I feel, and not that I didn't, but I feel like I belong in a different way. I feel loved, right? In a different way. And I hope some of my family members are out there. For those of you who have come up to me and I've come up to you, this has mattered. Like, family matters, right? And so we need to get it right. But we need to get right so that we can get our family right. But I've had a blessed time, so I won't spend so much time on that. Let me see who's out here rocking with me. Miss Brenda Davis, I missed you yesterday. I don't know if you were listening, but if you're ever on, you must say good morning. You have to always say good morning, because I look for you. I look for you. So good morning and happy resurrection day to you as well. So you guys, I'm going to jump right into it. Let me get I miss my Brandon, y'all. I miss my Brandon. So he will be back soon. So let's do this. So we're reading again from Dennis Kimbro's book, Daily Affirmations for African American Success. But as Brandon will say, this is not just for us. So if you are of a different race, still come to the barbecue. You can fix a plate, take a plate, bring some food. How about that? Bring some food, because we all are one. So let's read what daily motivation this book is about. Let me tell you more on that. Get there. All right, daily motivations for African American success will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead you to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short but powerful motivations, one for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes, but also when to say no. So important, you guys. And when to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans, such as, but not limited to for sure, Malcolm X, Marion Wright Edelman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year, but what it teaches you will last a lifetime. And I want to say, and it will change your life, right? It will change you. Each affirmation in this valuable and thought provoking book takes only a few minutes to read, but is worthy of more time for contemplation. And that is quoted by Black Enterprise. So that's why we're here. That's what we're doing. This is what we're looking for, to be motivated, to be changed, to have time to contemplate what you take from here on your plate, right? So today's, and we're on day 60, you guys. Let me do it. I'm tooting my own horn. I'm brushing it off, y'all. I'm thankful because I did it 60 days. And I'm so proud of myself. So, and I know Brandon would have did it the 60 if things had not come up. So he'll be back. I'm thankful also to my nephew, Big Little Will, for assisting me the last some of the days after Brandon was not available. And he will, to my understanding, be back with me on tomorrow and for the rest of the week, if God willing. So let's get into day 60. Day 60's topic is pay per view. I'm sure you guys think about or thought about or will think about what that means. As far as I know, I did the pay per view channel that you have to pay, I guess, to watch special things. And I'm going to check my comments right here again before I get started. Good morning to my brother Mike, who's been rocking with me as well. And y'all, I gotta say, as I talked about the family reunion, my brother is transforming. I want to say that. And I don't want to give out any of his business, but this is a good thing. We both are transforming, right? And so my brother will often check on me. And I'll say more than he ever has, right? And as a woman, as a sister, as a mother, as a daughter, that empowers me. And I don't know if I've told him this. I think I have, maybe in certain ways, but it empowers me, right? It's like I got backup. I got somebody, dude. I got somebody, lady. So don't mess with me, right? I'm not in this world alone. I got a brother that checks on me. I have a son that checks on me, right? So I just I don't know why, but I wanted to share that with you this morning. I want to thank you. Thank you for how you see me now, right? I just thank you. I thank you. So, hey, pay per view. You see me. He's paying the price to see me, right? And I mean, that's not in a bad way. He is paying the price to see himself, right? When he looks in that mirror, he sees a different Mike. He sees a different brother. So now he is a different brother to his sister, right? So I just want to say thank you, bro, little bro. He's my little bro. I'm older, so I still get to tell him what to do, but I still want him to check on me, right? Because he's stronger than me in the physical realm, and probably I'm sure some ways in the mental realm. But I'm still the oldest. I'm gonna say that. I'm not gonna keep that, and I still get to tell you what to do, right? I'm joking, y'all. But thank you. I love you. Thank you, Mike. So pay per view. Let's listen or let's look at our quote. We usually see things. So I'm gonna start this over. We usually see things not as they are, but as we are. I'm gonna read it again. We usually see things not as they are, but as we are. And that is a quote from Lewis. let's see, what is his name here? Beavers? This book, y'all, is kind of hard to read sometimes if you don't have the right light. So I'm going to read that again because I want you guys to pay attention to it. Almost sets us up to go a different route. And then the not is what gets you. We usually see things, then it goes, not as they are, but as we are. And the passage goes, what do you think and feel about yourself? When you look in the mirror, do you see the person that you will one day become? Perhaps the following story will help you answer the questions. There was once an African prince who was born with a hunchback, or born a hunchback. On the prince's 13th birthday, the king asked, "What would you like to receive as a birthday gift?" Bent over and looking up, the boy replied, "I would like a statue of myself." The king was confused. The last thing in the world he wanted was for his young son to be mocked. So, in an effort to change the boy's mind, the king asked, "Surely there has to be something else that you desire." And I like that he uses the word desire and not want, right? There surely has to be something else that you desire. But the prince was steadfast. "No, I want the statue of myself, but I don't want the statue of myself as I appear now. Rather, I would like a statue of how I would look if I stood straight and tall. Furthermore, I'd like the figure to be placed outside my window in the garden where I can see it every day." After the statue was built, the hunchback boy stood before his likeness each morning. So after the statue was built, the hunchback boy stood before this likeness each morning. So he viewed it. He stood before it every morning, you guys, day in and day out. He stretched and strained to mimic the 6-foot statue. He did this without failing for 8 full years. On his 21st birthday, he stood shoulder to shoulder, erect, head straight, staring eyeball to eyeball with the statue. What was the prince's secret? Without resist. I'm sorry, let's see, what does this say? What was the prince's secret? As the poet says, what thou seest, that thou beest. So, as the poet says, what thou seest, that thou beest. And our affirmation for today is, I will visualize success. I will visualize success. And I'm going to put this out here. I will visualize success. So let's break it down just a little bit here. And for those of you who are listening and you do have the opportunity to send me a comment on this, let me know your thoughts. But I'm going to go back to pay-per-view. So you have to pay for special events, right? Well, I'll say what someone else deems special and worthy of an additional payment, because we pay for all this cable already. You would think we pay enough to never have to have pay-per-view or pay for anything in addition to what we pay for, because it's really, really expensive now. But nonetheless, they deem some things are worthy of more of your money, right? For you to watch. For the most part, y'all, we pay it. I won't say we, because I don't. Y'all pay it if you do, right? For whatever reason. Nonetheless, pay-per-view. You got to pay for this view. This is special. This is in addition to what we have you already paying for. So if you want this, so imagine how much money they make in just that one night for these sports events and things like that. You have to pay for it. And I'm going to relate that to, if you want a different life, you got to pay for it. But how much? All of you, all of yourself, you have to surrender. All of you, all of your thoughts. As the book says to us, every thought, I hate this lighting, every thought which enters our mind, every word we utter, every deed we perform makes an impression on the innermost fiber of our being, right? So you got to give it all. You got to give it all. And think about, if it's pay per view, you pay every time, every thought you make, every action you pay every time, whether it's you're making a deposit, right? And sometimes you pay and you're taking away. So it's different. It's different. But even in pay-per-view, sometimes you pay and you look at that, you pay for a fight, and the fight that you wanted to see might last 1 minute, and you've paid $70, $80, right? But if you pay, as we talked about yesterday, if you manage your life, if you manage it like you would if you were going to a job to be a manager or the CEO, they have to show up. They have to show up. So this is what you have to do. And don't get it confused. And we've heard this enough. I have no doubt that we've all not heard this enough. You see life not as it is, but as you are. That's a difficult thing to process, just as you have to hold yourself accountable for where you are today. No one is responsible for where you are today, or who you see yourself as, who you look in the mirror and see. No one is responsible for that. Now, there may have been some things that happen in your life, and life happens to us all. But if you show me your thing or you tell me your thing, I'm going to show you someone else who had a different and bigger thing than you just told me about. But they survived. They became successful. And I'm not talking about with the big house, but the big car. Internally, when they looked in the mirror, they didn't see the things that happened to them. They didn't see the people that they think or thought was responsible for those things. They saw who they were going to become. But they had a mental vision of who they were going to be as the hunchback prince. Not just boy, he was a prince. And I want to put emphasis on that, because you are a prince and I am a princess, right? Why? Y'all, because we were created by the Most High with purpose. With purpose. God created us, put us in a box, wrapped us up, put our name on it, put the lid on it, and told you all that you needed to do, right? But the one thing you need to do so that you can do those things is get out the box. Take yourself out the box. Pop out the box, because it's not locked. None of them are. None of them are locked. It's like standing in water, saying you're drowning, being underwater, saying you're drowning or thinking you're drowning, and you're taller than the water. All you got to do is stand up, get out, right? So we see, once you realize that as well, and I believe we know this, but we usually see things not as they are, but as we are. So how are you? What have we been talking about these 60 days? What is success to you? What are your goals? Where are you? Do you know where you are? Do you know where you're going? Are you on the Waffle House page, bouncing back and forth, on the fence? I want to do this. I am this. I'm going to be this. I'm empowered today. There should never be a day that we're not empowered, because you can always make a choice to be empowered. Because if you're on the other side of it, that's the choice you've made. So we always have a choice. So I'm going to see, how's my time here? Okay. Let's break it down just a little bit more. And I'm going to check my comments here. See what you guys having to say out here. Good morning, Leo Barney, all the way from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Thank you for rocking with us. Happy Easter to you and your family. All right, so let's break it down. The quote again. Think about this, you guys. You've heard, so a man thinketh, so is he. Right? So a man thinketh, so is he. So a man sees. As we talk about, what do you see when you look in that mirror? Do you look? Do you look? I'm so deep in this thing, you guys. I will stand before that mirror and talk power to talk life and empower myself. You're beautiful. You're great. You're wonderful. You're spiritually and wonderfully made. You have a purpose. Walk in it, run in it, live in it, because it's not just for me. If you consider yourself as a servant, somebody is always paying for your view. Always, always. And they're looking for it. But guess what? If you do you, if you transform your life, it's free to them. They say hurting people hurt people, healing people help people heal. And that's true. You create an aroma for those who want it. Because again, as I mentioned yesterday, some people they're going to not like you just because you're doing it. But guess what? When it talks about we usually see things not as they are, but how we are. I have this thing I'll say, you guys, when we see, I'm going to make it personal. I've shared this. I used to be offended by women or someone, most of the time women, because I'm a woman. If they just walked in the room, I don't know anything about them, but I'm going to tell you what I was seeing. I was seeing the things that I know I am, but I've not allowed out. I'm fighting those things. I'm seeing them in this person, but I don't see them in myself, but I know that I am them, right? I know that I have them inside. So what does she know that I don't? What is she doing that I'm not? Because I deserve that too. In fact, I am that. But I'm sitting here in my woes and my feelings. God, where are you? And he said, no, where are you? I'm right behind you because you got in front of me. Right? So I used to be so offended. And this is going to sound so crazy. I used to hate Walmart like to a T. I would pull up and pray. Now I walk in Walmart like I'm Walmart's wife. Right? Mrs. Walmart is in the house to get her groceries and whatever else that she needs. Why? Because I've changed. I no longer look in the mirror and see the hunchback little princess. I see who the princess is becoming. Right? So, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? Who do you see? Do you see your past? Do you see your past experiences? Do you see the traumatic experiences? Let's stay here for a minute. Traumatic is trauma, because I'm hearing that word quite a bit now, and I'm not trying to diminish it. I'm not trying to. We hear it a lot. Let me just say that, and I want you guys to know the traumatic trauma is not alive anymore. The traumatic experience is alive within you. So you keep reliving that thing in your head, in your mind, in your feelings, in your heart, right? So what trauma should do is it should make us guard our hearts a bit more. Because sometimes we'll do the right thing for the wrong reasons, for the thrill of the victory, which was yesterday's topic, for the thrill from the world, right? I get thrilled when I no longer birth a thought that does not represent who I'm becoming. I get thrilled when I no longer react to situations that I used to, because now I respond. I don't react. Just like medication, we don't want medication to cause a reaction. We want it to respond to our body, right? So that's my thrill. I get thrilled when I have an encounter like I did yesterday with my cousin Chris, y'all. We had a God moment yesterday, early morning breakfast at a restaurant that he owns now. I went over and we sat down and we had conversation. When I tell y'all, God just showed us that he was right there with us during and afterwards. But the afterwards, It's like God's like, now I want y'all to know that I was sitting right there with you and that I orchestrated this thing. Now, during the orchestration, during him, God putting it all together, I had a situation that put me in my feelings because something didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen about this meeting. But had it, we would have not had the kind of meeting or gathering or connection that we had. And so God gave me that after the meeting, and I'm about 2 seconds, I don't know, outside of the restaurant. I pulled out and I thought about it at the light. And I was like, I got to call and tell him. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to bother him. I've took up so much of his time. And then someone said, no, call him. So I called him. He was talking to my dad. So he came over and answered my call. And I told him, and he said, wow. And he clicked, before telling me, he clicked my dad, merged me in with my dad and him on the phone. And he said, now tell your daughter what I just told you. And it was the same thing that I just told him. Won't God do it, y'all? If you open up your life, if you look in that mirror and you see who God created you to be every day, if you do it every day with your hunchback, if you would stand tall, if you would create a vision of that statue outside a window of your home, outside the window of your car, because you're going to need to take the statue wherever you go. If you take that hunchback self and visualize who you are becoming, who God created you to be, man, you will have these same kind of moments. If you open yourself, God, I'm a servant. Wherever you take me, whatever life brings to me, I'm going to grow through it. Let's go, as Mary said. Let's go. I'm a servant. If you choose me to be pregnant, to be with child, without a husband, in a time such as this, I'm your servant. I'm not afraid. Let's go. So be it. That's hard. And it doesn't mean we don't do it without tears, without pain. But it does mean that we go back to the window and we see what God created us to be. We see what we're becoming. Right? So, did I miss anything that I wanted to? I'm going to check my comments here. You guys give me something. Y'all are quiet. I see that we got some people out there, but you guys are quiet. Talk to me as I get ready to come to a close. Pay per view. What are you paying for the view? What is the view? Is it worth you paying for? Because sometimes what we see, we don't even need to pay for it. We don't even need to pay for it. Sometimes what we see, we don't have to pay for it. Brenda Davis. Brenda, did you get my message that you have to say good morning every morning? If you're out there, I look for your good mornings and I appreciate them. I'm experiencing tears of joy right now, Tammy, listening to you. I'm feeling who I am becoming and visualizing it. Amen to that. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm right there with you, Brenda. I'm right there with you. Okay. Well, then that's okay if you miss. But if you ever hear, you got to say good morning. And I hope everything's okay. And we will catch up. We will connect pretty soon here. So you guys, that's all. I'm going to stop here because I have to get going here. Y'all see who God created you to be. And whatever you are experiencing today, let it go. Let it go. Go somewhere. And if you can't, well, do it at your home. Create this vision outside of your home, right? I have a vision board of things that I want to become and things that I believe will be helpful in me getting to a place. Now, if it happens, it's fine. If it doesn't, it's fine. Those things that I put on that board, if I redid the board, I bet you some of those things would come off because I just don't, I don't want, let me say this, my wants have become my needs. And the things that I thought I needed to get me to a certain space and place, I know that I don't need them to get me there. Why? Those things didn't create me. I know that where I'm supposed to be, God will get me there. I just need to be here. I need to see who He created me to be. I need to have, as I mentioned yesterday, I think I did, um, they say favor is not fair. People will say, I've heard people say that favor is not fair, meaning that God doesn't give favor to, that's how I take what they say. God's favor upon some people is not fair because they don't deserve it, right? But that's not our call. Let's just forget about all that, because I'm going to tell you what is fair. Faith. Faith. Do you have faith in the you that God created you to become, to be? Do you have faith in God? Because it says the faith of a mustard seed. I did say this yesterday because I told you guys I can't even see a mustard seed with my glasses on in the daylight, right? Do you have faith in who God created you to be? Because truth be told, you don't have to pay for it. The price has already been paid. You do not have to pay for that view. You just have to believe in it. You have to have faith in the God that created that view, in the God that created you, and faith in yourself. And faith in yourself. So with that, I'm going to close, go prepare to go be with my family for our last day of celebrating life, love, culture, just ancestors. Y'all, it's just beautiful. And I can't wait to go to the church. All of our, I'll say most all of our ancestors are buried there on the grounds of the home church, including my grandma and my granddad. So that's always touching for me to go and see. But this year is different. And it's not because my family is different, it's because Tammy is different. And not only does Tammy see herself, she sees them too. She sees the person they're becoming. I'm not seeing, oh, they're this, they're that, they should be doing this. No, no. I see who you're becoming. Because the same God that paid the view for you paid it for me. The same that paid it for me paid it for you. So I see you becoming. I hope you see me becoming and allow me to become. So y'all be great. Happy Easter to you guys. Love on yourself so that you can love on others. Thank you for rocking with me. I'm going to say our affirmation once more before we get off. I will visualize success. 3 times, right? I will visualize success. What does that look like to you? What do you see? I will visualize success. You are successful. Be great, great people. I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Peace. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know. Monday. Lil Will hopefully will be back with me tomorrow. If not, I'll be right here for day 61. Thank you for rocking with me. Peace.